The more time you spend alone with yourself, the more time that you'll be able to understand who you are. When I mean understand who you are, I'm talking about without any outside interference, without any friends, without any peer pressure of wanting to be like someone else.
It's not about the shoes. It's about knowing where you're going, not forgetting where you started. It's about having the courage to fail, not breaking when you're broken, taking everything you've been given and making something better. It's about work and what's inside of you. It's doing what they say you can't, being who you were born to be.
I could have done better in some areas, but I still kept going. You know, I didn't put my head down. I had days where it was like, damn, you know, but I got to keep going. And that's the whole mentality that you always need to have. That's how you're diligent, you're determined, you persevere. That's has to be a part of your DNA to be successful.
You gotta learn to shut your feelings off if you want to achieve greatness. And greatness is only achieved when your feelings about that kind of shit. I'm talking about the grind, the fucking grind. Your feelings have to go away. You have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your fucking brain, so when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it.
I'd say one of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero. Winners define themselves by what they made happen, and losers define themselves by what happened to them.
It starts right now. And if you're not doing the now, you don't ever expect the later to be the person you want to look in the mirror. Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression,
most of the limitations we have do not exist in reality. They exist only in your own mind. And one of the starting points of great achievement is to start questioning those self-limiting beliefs and throw them off and act as if they did not exist.
Too many of you are sitting around waiting to feel ready. You can still move forward when you're not ready. It's about the action. Your mind, your history, your past, you will always have a million excuses not to do it, not to feel like it, not to believe in yourself. The only thing that matters in your life and your business is the actions that you're taking. And the more consistently that you take action, the faster you will start to believe in yourself, because you will see proof that you are not the kind of person that sits around and feels unworthy, that you're not a victim that sits by and gets sucked into other people's stuff, that you're not that kind of person. So it won't make sense to believe in anymore, but it starts with action.
Overcoming the old self allows us to become somebody else. And there is that period of transition. I call it the void, where there's just not a lot happening. And you just gotta be able to keep going and continuously get to the end of your belief, where most people stop. We've been hypnotized and conditioned into becoming materialists. I think that we define reality with our senses, and I think that is one of the biggest delusions. So the fundamental question is, can you believe in a future that you can't see or experience with your senses yet, but you've thought about enough times in your mind that your brain is literally changed to look like the event has already occurred?
Follow your dream and don't be afraid to fail. You will fail sometimes. You learn success by failure. Never give up. Every block down is a block up. Every misfortune is a fortune. Get off the porch. Don't give up.
If you've got a goal in mind and someone can tell you not to take that goal and you believe it, you don't have a goal. Stay on course.
And to the extent you are successful is the extent you have this thing, which is that you're willing to step into spaces you are ill prepared for. So it seems to me like you're willing to, you kind of think like, if I get my foot in the door, then I'll figure this stuff out. Whereas what most people do, this is killing you, by the way, I won't step into the door until I'm completely prepared, which is a total fallacy anyways as an entrepreneur. Have a music career or an artist or anything great. If you're waiting for a threshold of, I need to be totally prepared, then I'll step in the door, you will be on the other side of that door the rest of your life.
You're haunted by all the opportunities that you missed by not bringing your best at that time. When you could have won, but you didn't win because you allowed life to interfere with that one shot. That's greatness. Greatness is your recall. Greatness is being so aware of the time of life in the second that went by, and you can recall like it was yesterday. Greatness is being able to go back there, not making that same mistake again, and being haunted by it. That is greatness.
People have got to reject this notion that they have to be protected from the outside and putting all their time and energy into that. Be the change you want to see in the world. If you want to see people strong enough to withhold a better weight, then don't worry about trying to fix systems, just get tough. Watch how people respond to you. Watch how your kids look up to you. Watch how your family members look up to you. Watch how people turn to you and want help. We have an innate desire to get strong. We don't have an innate desire to have something else protect us. On the mental side of what's driving a lot of people not believing in that is we're just culturally reinforcing that, like, we're stuck, we're trapped, there's nothing we can do, that people don't understand that fulfillment has to be earned. You can't tell someone to just love themselves. You have to tell them how they earn self-respect. You have to tell them that doing hard that you don't want to do and doing it anyway, that's exactly how you gain self-worth. You can't just tell someone to feel worthy.
That at some point along the way, we get confused. And we misunderstand who we are. We start building this false sense of self around all the stories and all the labels and all the things. And we start living our life out. And we get confused about how life works, how we interact with life. We start living much smaller than we really are. And so when we do that, we start to move away from our dreams. We start to give up on this beautiful thing that we're here to give birth to in the world, and then we get stuck because we don't have that dream in front of us anymore that allows us to overcome all the challenges in life, right? That pulls us into it. That's the thing that allows us to grow, and we get stuck.
Truth is, like, a lot of people don't appreciate the fact that doing anything exceptional requires a lot of work, right? And it requires that anonymous work that you do when no one's looking, and when the going gets tough and you're conflicted over what it is that you're going to do on that day, it's easy to cave in. And so there's a level of, like, conviction and commitment to self that's required that I think you develop over time with some level of resilience and the persistence that comes with that. But if you don't appreciate that doing something hard is going to test you and is going to compel you to get out of your comfort zone, then you're going to struggle.